product I've got here today is the Techni fridge freezers. Now these are a great unit. They're a 12 volt fridge and freezer. They also run off 240 volts, and what's quite different about them is their performance, which I'll get to later. The company has spent a lot of time with R&D on these products before they've come out, and although you might see products around that are look-alike, if you have a close look at these, they are quite different. I'll just start with some of the external features while I've got it like this. You'll notice the bag here is actually got a thick insulation, and it's also got a metallised polyester insert on it. So the whole inside of this bag is using metallised polyester, and the outside is a very durable, rip-resistant vinyl, and it's also using some really big zips. So one of the shortcomings of a lot of bags on fridges is the zips. This one here is using a similar zip to what you see on some of the good swags and things like that. It's quite a large zip. It's easy to zip up, and you're not going to have breakages and things like that with a zip, which is great. So that's your bag. Now, these type of bags that fit on these fridges, a lot of them in the market don't have much insulation. All this does. Now, when I get to the insulation on this fridge, the fridge itself, remember this is a Techni fridge, so it's no surprise that the insulation on this fridge is actually very similar to some of the premium ice boxes the company sells. It's so although it doesn't really need the bag, if you put an insulated bag on any fridge of any brand, it will help, because it actually just gives you one more layer between your sun and the body of the fridge. So, but these fridges without the bag perform very well, and because the whole body is got high density polyurethane compound insulation, which is injected under high pressure right through all the walls and lid and the whole box. The lid itself is actually interchangeable from side to side, so it's actually got a locking receptacle on both the front and the back of the box. So if you had it in a vehicle where you need to be able to open it to the left or open it to the right, you just turn the lid around and click it in, and it will lock onto the other side. So you can open it with a hinge this side or open it with a hinge that side, which is a useful sort of thing, and it's a good positive locking latch. When it comes down, it really locks down, so it's a nice strong latch on it. When you get to the controls on this box, it's actually got soft start, which is a great feature on it. It's got a 3-stage battery saving device, and what that does is it allows you, even if you're using a single battery in a 4-wheel drive or something like that, so you don't finish up with a flat battery in the morning. If your battery's already low and you're running your fridge, day and night without starting your car, it will shut the fridge down, leaving you enough power to start your car. So it's actually got 3 different voltages which can be switched on the side. You can select it to whatever you want. The Techni fridge freezers will go to -20, and that's very cold for a portable freezer to be able to achieve that. And it's got a separate dairy compartment on one side here, and then your main area can be used as a fridge or a freezer, and at the same time allowing the dairy compartment to maintain products that can still spread your butter and so on, and things that are kept in there. It's got an LED light, which is really useful at night, so it lights the whole fridge up really well so you can see what you're doing, and of course your baskets and things like that. While I'm talking about the performance, I'll show you a little bit of gear that's inside these. It's pretty impressive. When it comes to the liner is actually a stainless steel liner, and the evaporator has actually been put on the outside, or rather, should I say, the inside. In other words, on the fridge side, not on the area where you're actually putting all your products and things in. And that's got a lot of advantages, because a lot of fridges don't do that. They actually run the evaporator on the fridge side of your your fridge. And the problem with that is if someone's got a whole lot of frost in there, or they happen to dig in it with a knife or something, they're likely to damage the evaporator. And apart from the fact that the evaporator is also taking up room in your fridge. So these have got a smooth stainless steel liner that's really easy to clean, and your evaporator is on the other side between your insulation and the plate, so it's a very efficient way to work. I'll just show you the compressor while we're on it. I'll bring it over here. And here's what drives this unit. It's a great compressor, and on the corners, the way this is mounted, because a lot of people are using these in extreme situations, in four-wheel drives and farming and stuff like that, there's some really high density rubber mounts that mount the compressor. On that are these thick metal washers, and then they've got stainless lock nuts. So it's not going anywhere, and it certainly supports it when it's moving. So these fridges, of course, can be used on extreme angles and things. They're designed so they can be used in off-road vehicles and farm machinery and things like that. You can see there, there's a fan goes between your condenser and the compressor, and this thing here, that's your compressor controller, and it's a very, very efficient one. You'll notice it's actually got a big metal heatsink on the electronics here, which helps keep the whole thing cool, and that's very important when you're in hot, dusty conditions, to be able to keep the controller cool. So actually having a large metal heatsink attached directly to the circuit board makes a big difference. So so that's basically that's really the thing that's making the difference in this fridge, and allows it to reach such a low temperature. So on the sides you've got some really good carrier handles, and each of these carrier handles is actually held on there with 4 big stainless steel hexagon bolts, and we'll show you a shot there of how that looks. And as far as tying them down, the handles also double as a tie-down point, so you can actually put your tie-downs to anchor them in the back of your vehicle or wherever you're going to use the machine. So so that's physically how the thing is, and don't know what else I could really tell you. It's a great thing. It's got the basket inside, and which is a lift-out basket, and oh, that's right, something else I should show you too, which is handy. A lot of people that have car fridges, particularly if they're driving either older cars or newer cars, they find that they have issues with their cigarette lighter plug. So most fridges go into the cigarette lighter plug. The problem is, as cars have evolved over the years, some of the newer cars have a smaller one than some of the larger cars, or some of the newer cars and older cars have different size cigarette lighter diameters here, so they don't actually go into the lighter socket properly. So we've addressed that this way. So if you've got a very late model car, you take this red cap off, and it will make a good contact inside a modern cigarette lighter socket. If you've got an older car, you put that back on, and again it will make good contact inside an older car. So it's also got a little LED on the actual plug itself, so when you plug it in, the LED comes on, you know that it's actually making connection. And that goes into that. That's the separate power box you get for this, and of course you've got 240 volts in, 12 volts out. Now this unit can be used for things other than fridges if you want to as well. But one of the beauties of this too, often when you get fridges that have got built-in power units, if these ever fail, you've got to send your whole fridge back to get serviced or take it to your nearest service outlet. When you've got a separate one like this, you can just carry on your journey and run your fridge from your cigarette lighter. So it's a great thing. If it ever fails, you don't have to go and send the whole fridge back. They can just send you another one of these out in overnight mail, and off you go. So this is for when you're running on 240 volts. So for example, you know, you get to your destination, you find you've got power there, you don't want to run it on your car anymore, so you can put the fridge down and run it on that. But the point I'm making there, that although these particular ones actually have been very reliable, if you ever get situations with normal car fridges where your internal 240 volt transformer fails, you've got no option but to send the whole fridge back. But that's not the case with these Techni ice fridges. So there you have it. You've got the box. They come in 3 sizes. You've got a 30 litre car fridge. You've got 45 litres and 60 litres. And everything on them is pretty much Techni ice quality. They've got, as I said, they've got high density insulation in all the walls and lids, and uh, they're actually a pretty good icebox even when they're not plugged in, because they're so well insulated. So they've managed to keep the thing looking like the popular look that people like with these fridges that look nice and stylish, but at the same time insulate them well like an icebox. So there's no need to have a fridge that looks like an icebox to get that kind of performance. It's actually in this fridge. In fact, that whole panel there is actually insulation, would you believe? Apart from the control module in there, that's complete high density polyurethane insulation. So it runs all the way around, and it's very thick and very effective. So as I was saying about its performance, its current drain is actually one of the lowest current drains you can get on fridge freezers, and there's a lot of things that help it obtain that. It's got very good electronics, very good compressor, very good evaporator and condenser, and also, of course, it's very well insulated, so it's keeping the heat out, so the compressor's not working over time trying to keep it cool. So there you have it. It comes in 3 sizes, and that's a very efficient fridge freezer. The fridge also comes with a 2-year parts and labour warranty, national warranty. So it's a quality product, and the company stand behind it. And again, you'll probably notice that typically, remember, you're buying these direct from the Techni Ice company. As with all the Techni Ice products, you're buying them from the source, so you don't have retail margins involved. And in some cases, that can mean you're getting a product that might retail for almost double what you're paying when you buy it directly through the company. So being able to buy the products directly from the company without a retail margin, no matter what the Techni Ice products are, makes them very good value for what they are.